Welcome to the Power of Love Show, sponsored by the TJ Jackson Foundation, where we shine a light on loss and grief and how it impacts our lives. We are here to provide hope, resources, and a community so no one feels alone in their grief. Enjoy the show. Welcome to the Power of Love Show, sponsored by the TJ Jackson Foundation, where we shine a light on loss and grief and how it impacts our lives. My name is TJ Jackson, and with me is my eldest brother, Taj Jackson.
What's up, T?
What is going on, my man?
Nothing much. Too much shout.
Today's date is February 8th, 2023. And we are live right now. Of course, we are on Facebook and YouTube streaming visually. So if you're watching us right now, thank you so much. Remember, these shows are very interactive. So if you want to chime in, make comments, we can see it and we will put it up on the screen. Not all of the comments, but some of the comments we could put up on the screen. You may be also listening to us via the podcast. Yes, every single show of ours gets uploaded, ingested into the podcast world, where it is available to be listened to on iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other major players in the podcast world. So if you're a podcast listener, make sure to check us out. Go ahead and give us a subscribe there. And again, if you find any value, if you appreciate our shows, we would love it if you guys can give a review. It helps others who may be looking for our content or this type of content. It helps them find it. Again, this is the Power of Love Show. It is something that the TJ Jackson Foundation does to try to help you all, help even ourselves, get through some of life's toughest and most challenging situations. We have many different guests, whether they've experienced it, whether they are professionals. We try to have as many guests as possible come onto our show to help you all. Saying that, we are not licensed therapists. We are just ordinary people who've experienced loss in our lives. We've been impacted by it, and we have learned from it. So we like to share our opinions in an attempt, again, to help you get through whatever it is you are going through. But if you need professional help, we urge you to seek it and to find it. Please, please, please do not just rely on us. So Taj, before I ask how your week is going, I should be mentioning also, if anybody out there wants to learn more about DDJF, or if you want to make even a donation to us, we are a nonprofit 501(c) organization. You can do so at www.ddjf.org. Let me get a banner up for that because we don't usually share it enough. This is our website where you can learn more about the foundation and what we do. So that is my little spiel. But Taj, I want to know, how are you doing? How is your week going?
TJ, I'm cheating right now. I'm actually looking at my calendar. That's how much I remember of the week. I still can find anything interesting to say. Still
doesn't shock me, bro. It doesn't shock me.
Yeah, I'm still under the weather. That's kind of, you can still hear it in my voice, but feel 100% better. So
good.
But besides that, there's not really much going on. Good.
Another thing I should say is, guys, make sure to follow DDJF on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
And one more thing before I talk about my week. Another thing is, for some of you who can't, whether you don't have the means to donate, another way to give back is simply to share our content. You could share it, post it. It's again, our main mission at TJ Jackson Foundation is to help others, and you sharing can find that's a great way to maybe help someone you didn't even know needed help. So I want to make sure I make that point, is sharing on your social medias is a great way to support not only us, but to support those around you. As for my week, Taj, I'm in Utah. I think I told you, obviously we talked on the phone yesterday. Taj called me and we were talking about some important things, but I was on the ski slope. So I was like, hey man, I'd love to chat it up with you, but I'm literally skiing down a hill right now and I should focus. Todd, you know what's so funny though? I thought about you as a kid because I love skiing. I really do. I probably went 7 total times. I've been to many different crazy and amazing places to ski. But I realized, I was like,
could I say what you're going to say?
Yes, please. I want to see if you can.
He's going to say that I tore my knee skiing the very first time I tried.
How old were you?
I think I was like 10 or 11 in that way.
Okay.
And might have been a little earlier. I think I scared the whole family out of skiing. And so what TJ is going to say is he missed a lot of his lucrative years of skiing
That's
because
100%.
of a fear that he shouldn't have had.
That's 100% what I was gonna say. We had a place in Big Bear, California, which is pretty much a skiing place in California, in Southern California. It is the ski spot, like I don't want to say it's a resort because it's not a resort, but I guess the skiing community where you do snowing community where you could do skiing and a lot of great stuff when it comes to snow. And I have a feeling we could have became a skiing family, and I would have been a lot better skiing if you would have just not have gotten hurt.
If I wouldn't have tore my knee, yeah.
Yes, but Taj got hurt as the oldest child. My family got scared. The house was sold, and that was the end to that. And then it wasn't until I was 16 years old that I tried it and fell in love with it. So, but I do love it.
Sport.
The one thing I will say for anyone who's interested in doing any skiing or snowboarding, make sure you get a lesson first because it is serious risk.
That was my fault. That's what I didn't do as well.
Yeah. Did you try to ski? Was that what you were trying to do?
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but one of my best friends, he was convinced he could teach me how to ski, and I don't even think we went in like I think it was intermediate or above that I went down, and that was just not. And I also did the technique wrong. I realized because I had to ski downward, later, with a torn knee, and actually was doing a lot better than I was before. Yeah. Jeez. So improvising was better than what I was actually doing.
Well, Taj, again, like you correctly predicted, a big thank you to you for nothing. For nothing. For holding me back. I could have been a world-class skier for all I knew.
You could be an Olympian, right? Yeah.
Anyways, Taj, we have a super chat from Lala Chan Network. Very sweet. And she says, sending love to Taj.
Thank you. That's so sweet of you.
It really is. Thank you, Lala Chan. Very, very sweet of you. Carol also wants to chime in, says, Taj, drink lots of OJ and soup. It will take time.
Yeah. It's taking time. Yeah.
So, all right. So, Taj, as far as my week, like I said, I'm in here in Utah with Royal on a father-son trip. I have a lot of kids, so I've learned.
Royal skiing, or is he snowboarding?
Taj, he snowboards and he likes it.
Yeah,
he likes it a lot.
Yeah.
What I've learned as a parent, and I guess I could share this because a lot of us here are parents, and Taj, you're a young parent. Well, you're an old parent.
I was going to say, well, thanks.
With young kids, but I've learned the value of doing one-on-one trips with your kids, and it's very interesting because I never really understood that. We grew up going on family trips, but I think there's something valuable about doing one-on-one trips. It's a bonding thing. I think the times are different too. When we grew up, Taj, it was more of a you didn't have the distractions that when one person did something, we all did it. There was no say. Now in a world where there's so much specialization and independence, I feel like a lot of times families forgo trips or forgo things. But I think the proper response is just do stuff independently with your kids. You can still get some great bonding moments and make them feel good and special in a way. And that's what Roy and I try to do every now and then. So that's what we're doing.
Good.
But it's fun. It's cold out here. It's too cold for you, Taj, but it's a good time. Okay, enough about all of that. We have a very, very special guest on today's show. On today's episode of the Power of Love Show, we welcome back Chris CJ Matthews, who you may remember tried to join us in January, but we experienced some technical difficulties. So he is back today. He is back today to share his inspiring work. And yes, it's incredibly inspiring, especially for his age, as you guys will see. But CJ Matthews' inspirational story began when his family experienced a pregnancy loss. When he was just 5 years old, his grief sparked an idea. CJ wanted to help other kids who might be dealing with similar feelings of sadness. The idea led to creating a charitable project called Blankies4MyBuddies, which has since grown into a globally recognized organization that brings small tokens of comfort, like cozy blankets, to children dealing with traumatic situations, from grief and loss to chronic illnesses and homelessness. Now, 15 years old, CJ has received numerous awards for his service, including the 2019 U Awards, International Community Service Honoree, aired on WSB-TV Atlanta, and named a Baskin Robbins Pint-Sized Hero July 2020
Nice.
for his efforts during the COVID-19 pandemic. He received the President's Volunteer Gold Service Award in 2020. CJ is a founding member of the Giving Tuesday Sparks, a youth leader in the global generosity movement. In November 2021, CJ released his first children's book, And Then There Was One, a story to help kids cope with grief and loss. But he was already a published author. His award-winning poem, I Am Great, appeared in Inklings book 2019, Society of Young Inklings, Inc. And he also contributed an essay about social justice to in their own words, relevant essays from brilliant young people in the year 2020. CJ plans to write more books. In 2021, he was featured on the cover of book 2 of the Young Changemakers series, Inspiring Others. And CJ made the top 50 of over 5,000 applicants in the Time Kid of the Year contest. His hashtag Give Like CJ blanket box project has received significant recognition, initially from Riley's Way Foundation, in which he is currently serving as a 2021 fellow. This year, he was a recipient of the Guppy Tank Kids Grant and Mentorship, and then was the youngest of 25 young change makers across the globe named in Prudential's inaugural class of emerging visionaries. He received 5,000 seed funding, mentorship, and an all-expense paid trip to New York City. His project has earned the attention and support of entertainment icon Nick Cannon and Grammy Award-winning artist Murphy Lee, both of whom have experienced grief from the loss of a child, as CJ's family did. CJ was born in Charleston, South Carolina, but his family moved to Atlanta when he was just 7 years old. He's the proud big brother of Colin, who is 6 years old and is following in his footsteps. CJ plays football, rugby, and is on his school's varsity wrestling team. He enjoys anime, music video, and board games, and hanging out with friends and family. What an introduction. Without much further ado, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the Power of Love show, the one and only Mr. Chris Matthews. What's up, Chris? You are muted, my friend.
Sorry.
You are good.
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me again.
Yeah. Hey, it's CJ. I mean, I know it's CJ, but was there a preference? I think you said either one, but I'm gonna go with CJ if that's cool.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. It's cool to see you back, man. I remember we did this in January. You have such an inspiring and such a cool story that we were having some internet issues that we paused the show and basically said, no, we got to do this right once we all have everything back together. But first, CJ, we want to start by expressing our deepest condolences. We understand since your last appearance, you have suffered a huge loss in your life. Your papa, I'm going to ask you to share his name and tell us some great things about your grandfather. CJ, so go ahead, man. This is your time to pay some wonderful tribute to your grandpa.
Okay, his name was Ronald Wright, and he's like the pillar under a bridge that like kept everyone up. Like, he was him. Like, he was that man. Like, there's no other way to put it, honestly.
As we've said, CJ, we're just showing you some love and condolences to you and your family, man, during this very difficult time for you guys. What was one more question, if that's okay, on your papa? What's the thing you're going to take away from him, or what did you learn from him that you'll always remember and brought value to your life?
Well, I know that if I could be half as great as a person that he was, then I think that I would be set for the rest of my life. But he like really like impacted my life in so many ways that like it's so many ways that he like helped not only me but everyone else inside the family. He was just a great person in every way. Like, there's no other way to put it.
Yeah.
I will say this, CJ, you are an amazing young man, and your entire family is proud of you. And I know your papa was proud of you too. There's no doubt about that. Um, you have done things that people in a full life don't even do. For only being 15 years old and for all the accomplishments you have made this thus far in your life. Um, Again, on behalf of my brother Taj and my other brother Terrell and our entire foundation and our entire family, I just wanted to bring some praise and salute to you because we need more of you in this world.
Yeah.
Um, but I wanted to start with the beginning, if that's okay. The inspiring projects you have been working on. You've done many different things, but I want to start with the beginning. That's Blankies4MyBuddies. Can you tell us what inspired the idea for Blankies4MyBuddies and how you brought it to life and what it has grown into since you've launched it?
Okay, so Blanks for My Buddies started when I was 5 after my family experienced a pregnancy loss of my little sister, Carson. And I had such a hard time dealing with it. Um, and it just like really hit me like that my little sister was never going to come home. Um, and Blanks for My Buddies was an idea that my parents had for me to, as a coping strategy, um, that me showing kindness would eventually help me get over her loss, and finally accept the fact that she was gone. Um, Over the years, Blanks for My Buddies turned from a project. I mean, not a project, a charity that I had no clue like how big of an impact I had um, doing it to something that now like I feel like a leader now because
Mhm.
um, I do so much that um, I do so much not only to help myself but to help other people who also dealt with what I did.
Hmm. I we are obviously all different people. I mean, even me and my big brother Taj, we're different people. But all of us have, the three of us have experienced loss as youth. And I will say this, CJ, at that time when I lost my mother, that was the first significant loss for me. I was a mess. You know, I really it's nothing can really prepare you for a loss of a loved one. And I'm saying this for a couple of things because you've lost several family members and you're at the tender age, impactful family members. You're at the tender age of 15, but at the same time, you seem to be, and I don't want to put this pressure on you, but you seem to be like a blueprint on how to turn that loss and grief into something powerful, not only for yourself but for others. Um, One question I have is, do you kind of feel like, do you understand how special you are in that way in terms of what you're doing? And I know that's not an easy question for someone, for anyone to answer, let alone a 15-year-old. But you are really, because a lot of people go the wrong way when they experience loss. You
Right.
know, they turn into the wrong things. They may turn to drugs or be mean or things like that.
All right.
But what I commend you on, not only are you doing the best you can, but you're trying to help others. Do you see how important and special that is?
Honestly, I do. My mom always saying, kids who don't deal with emotion turns into adults who don't deal with emotions. So
Ooh,
that's kind of like my whole motto into like what I do, because I don't want any other kid to, I don't want to say I don't want any other kid to feel not sad because of course that just comes along with it. But I don't want kids to like, you know, take the wrong path in life. I don't want them to, do something that they regret for the rest of their life.
yeah. I love that saying. Can you say it one more time? What does mom say?
Kids who don't deal with emotions turn into adults who don't deal with emotions.
That's powerful. You're blessed to have a wonderful mom and a wonderful family, CJ. Um, Now, and Taj, you chime in, man, whenever you want to get a question. I sometimes can hog the mic, so I apologize. But if there's
No,
something,
I think in general, you know, we definitely we commend what you're doing in that way at such a young age. But you're right. It definitely has to be a role models scenario in that way. And you seem to have a positive upbringing in that in terms of helping others and whatever. And you took that grief and made it into something positive, which is something that helps others now as well. I don't know. I guess my question for you was, obviously when you're doing it, did you have any idea how impactful this was going to be for others?
Well, when I was 5, when I first started, it was just something like, "Hey, you have a blanket. You have a blanket." It wasn't like, "Oh, I'm giving this blanket to someone who could be dealing with the worst situation of their life right now." It was just, have this, have that. It wasn't something I really understood. But now, as I'm older, I understand more, and knowing that I try my hardest to do better.
Yeah.
Question for you. So I know what I want to know is how can you explain to us or give us some insight on how you pivoted your work during the pandemic? Because COVID-19 hit a lot of people and it hit a lot of us hard. But I'm curious to know how you pivoted your work during the pandemic to meet people's needs by creating comfort bags. How did this idea come about, and who exactly are these bags intended for, and what exactly was in a comfort bag?
So at the time, I still am now. I was a Giving Tuesday Spark leader, and we had a emergency Giving Tuesday, which was basically a Giving Tuesday early in response to the pandemic. My project, as you know, was comfort bags, which were bags filled with activities. There was a time capsule in it for kids to like write down their favorite memories, what they like to do, basically like explain themselves. But the whole point of it was to, like keep them busy during the pandemic. Kids were sheltered in place during that time.
Cool. So and I know, I mean, look, CJ, you're going to be doing interviews. I have a feeling you're going to be doing a lot of interviews in life. I honestly feel this is going to be one of the most chill ones. So we're not professional interviewers either. So just so you know, and you can cut us off. But the reason why I'm saying that is because I overlooked a question, and I always want to make sure those who are watching the community can ask questions to our guests. And Lana says, CJ, what made you think? She want to know about your Blankies, your blankets. She want to know what made you think of blankets. You're an amazing and an inspiration. I just want to give you a big hug. So can you answer why blankets and how that idea came about?
Well, thank you, Miss Lana. But Blankies for my buddies. I'm sorry, blankets. I chose blankets because, blankets are warm, they're soft, and they give you a sense of security. Like they're like a big hug in a way, right? Being under one, it's like what you mean under a blanket. It makes you feel really good, right? And I thought that a blanket would, help a kid who may have lost a grandparent or a little sister. I thought it would like feel like as you were getting a hug from that person.
Yeah, it's great. Very cool. So now I do want to know what's been the most rewarding and most challenging part of doing all of this work.
Well, the most challenging part is, I would say just, raising the funds to, do the project. But all of that is irrelevant when the time actually comes because, until now, I've never really seen the faces of the kids that I donate to.
Yep.
Seeing that, I can't explain it. I just like really get like the feeling of love that I gave something to someone that may impact them for the rest of their life, may help them cope with whatever they're dealing with, just like in that category.
A question for you. What is your ultimate hope for Blankies for My Buddies?
Well, my ultimate goal is for me to start my own line of blankets, and also create a social enterprise where every blanket bought, another one is given back.
Mm.
Mm.
I was going to ask, how can we and the community support your goal and your project? So I do know Blankies for My Buddies, the website. It's on the screen right now for those watching. For those listening, it is Blankies, Blankies, the number 4, and then My Buddies, MYBUDDIES.org.
Mhm.
So we can go to the website and buy a blankie, right? And then, is there anything else you can do to support you and your goal, CJ?
Well, you got that first part wrong. Sorry, but
So you correct me. Don't apologize. We're family, man. You correct me.
On my website is my, story, background, everything that you need to know about Blankies for My Buddies. Also, you could buy my book on there. You can also buy the book at goodgriefbooks.net, and also it's available on Amazon. But yeah, that's it. We don't have blankets. That's
Okay.
We
Okay.
don't have blankets.
Okay. Let me ask you this, because you mentioned your book, and I want to talk about that too. So not only are you doing this, you also wrote a book. Look, I've been trying to write a book for like 5 years now, and I can't even get it going. But you wrote a book with your mom, Kristen, entitled "And Then There Was One: A Story to Help Kids Cope with Grief and Loss." So my first question is, can you tell me a bit about the motivation you had to write this book?
Well, you said it took you 5 years. It probably took about. We started that book when I was around 6. And yeah, we started that book when I was around 6, and it was just like a thought of the future. And during the pandemic, since we had so much time, we were like, we should really continue on this, right? And so that like whole process was like, it wasn't, I wouldn't say it was long, but it was really like in that short amount of time, it was really like frustrating in a way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because like all of the like we had to like go back years before to find the like original idea of the book, which was me going through that stage of my life where I felt grief, where I like had to cope with something, right?
It's not easy though. It's not easy on many levels. It's not easy to finish it, but also the topic, what you're talking about, is not an easy one to do. So
Yeah.
again, I know my brother Taj would agree with me. We commend you, man. You're doing something that a lot of people, forget just kids, a lot of adults can't do. And I commend your mom for helping you do all this, because you're making an impact and making a difference in our world.
Mhm.
You may not be able, it's kind of like what our Uncle Michael used to tell us. It's like, you don't realize the impact you have and the influence you have. It's impossible for you to really know. There's people in places that you probably never heard of, or let alone visited, that are being influenced by you. So a huge commendable and a huge shout out to you for doing you, CJ, really.
Thank you.
Question: what can readers expect from your book, and where can we all get a copy?
Like I said, on my website, blankies4MyBuddies.org, goodgriefbooks.net, and also it's available on Amazon. But I said also that you could like, my book takes you through my entire backstory from before my little sister was a thought to after the fact that I realized that she wasn't coming home. It really takes you through like the experience that I felt.
As a sibling, as a big brother.
Right. It really takes you through that. And also in the back of the book, there's a little, here I can show you. There's like a little
Yeah.
there's like a little journey right here. You guys see?
Yeah.
It's a little journey, right? And it takes you through the stages of grief, right?
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, it takes you through the stages of grief. It kind of like lets the parents know how their child is, thinking, what's their thoughts on something, like just like to really get there.
That's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Taj, were you going to say something, man?
No, I mean, just it's amazing at such a young age. He's accomplished so much in that way, and he doesn't seem like he's stopping, which is
Yeah.
the other thing I'm looking at him. He's like he's got his probably the next 5 years mapped out of where he wants to go next.
Well,
I appreciate
I
that.
commend you, CJ, because I've always said this, and I think Taj felt the same way. There wasn't many books out there for people when they lost someone that they loved, and
Right.
and there's more and more books. But what's special and cool about your book is it's coming from you, and it's coming in your way and your vibe and with your with your print on it, and that's very powerful, man. So
Yeah.
again, just a big shout out to you and a big applause for you, man. And however we can help, we want to continue to help. I'm curious to know, great idea on the book. I'm happy it's out there. Are there other books in mind that you may want to do in the future? Children's books or anything?
Well, yeah, I'm thinking about creating a series too, and then there was one. Now that I have a little brother, I want to like make a book that emphasizes on how it was then to how it is now, having to actually being a big brother, right?
Mm.
So, how he looks up to me, how I motivate him, just every like family's hope, like
Yeah.
because my was like our rainbow baby. We didn't expect to have any for I didn't expect to be a big brother at that time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
By the way, Jennifer says, I'll make sure to have my friends carry a book at their bookstore. And Jennifer also says, just sent a donation to you, CJ, by
Thank
way of your website. Love it. And then there was one more thing I wanted to highlight. Besides Carrie saying CJ is so well spoken, imagine he's a wonderful speaker. But there was one more thing. Oh, there we go. Lakeisha says this book is not just for kids, but it has also helped me as an adult through the death of my father last year.
Oh, that's
And
great.
and what I love about this comment is that it's not about how your grief comes out or how you deal with it. It's just what matters is that you deal with it and you
Right.
get it out and you and like I said, whether even though it's a children's book or it's got the vibe of a children's book, that doesn't mean it's not just for kids, because the whole goal, like I said, is to get it out. And if a children's book is what's going to be less intimidated for you to do it, so be it. What matters is that you learn and you get through it in as healthy a way as possible. So again, shout out to you, CJ, for just getting it out there. That's the first thing. A lot of people can't even get it out there. And Lakeisha, I love that comment. Paula also says, CJ, you are the poster child and definition of excellence. I've done a lot in my professional, personal life, but you proudly make me feel lazy. I am with you, Paula.
Well, I'm be honest with you. Doing all this work is not easy.
Yeah,
Not easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's days where I just lay down.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what I want to do.
But you're inspiring, though. We need people like you, CJ. As Carol says, you're a good role model. And
Yeah.
and I part of me is like careful because you're 15 and I don't want you to feel pressure, but at the same time, I want you to make sure you understand the impact you're making on people that you probably never thought you could impact, at least to the way you are.
It's important. Yeah.
Okay, and then we know you are a proud older sibling to a younger brother. Am I saying his name right? Is it Colin?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just want to make sure. He's 6 years old and wants to follow in your footsteps. We, of course, Taj and I are also brothers and understand that tight bond. Would you say Colin motivates you to keep striving for greatness because you're a role model to him? And then that's the first question. The second question is, what is your favorite part of being his big brother?
Well, honestly, I don't think Colin would want to be me. I think he wants to be better than me.
Ooh.
He's always competing with me, like first one in the car wins. He's like, he literally just goes, "Oh, first one to close the door wins." Like, I was like, okay, but being his big brother is like something that when I was 5, I never imagined, and he just like really impacted my life. You guys want to meet him?
Yeah.
Yeah, love to.
He wants to meet you guys.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
cool.
definitely. All right.
Hey,
Yeah.
what's up, my man?
What's going on?
One thing I will say is you guys, it's so sweet, but you guys stick together, have each other's backs, and Colin, you have a great role model in your big brother, and keep being you and keep trying to make the world a better place with his help.
All right.
So sweet,
Yeah.
man.
Great
I
family.
love your hair, Colin.
I'm
It's funny.
jealous of it. I'm
You
jealous
guys,
of it right now.
you guys kind of remind me of Taj and I, because Taj always rocked the braids
Yeah.
like you, CJ. And then when there's times where during the 3T days, I'd have my hair like Colin. So
Yeah.
it's funny. You guys remind us of us.
Yeah.
So sweet. So Colin, what do you want to do when you're older?
I want to do is donate fluffy and soft socks.
Okay.
Nice. I like
Okay. That's so cool. Well, Colin, I will say this: with your brother and your mom and your family, you could do it. You could do a lot of great things in this world, and always respect your family. Always know that they want the best for you, and they're going to help you try to achieve your goals. You got to do your work and put your time and effort into it. But you guys both can really make a huge difference and continue to make a bigger difference in our world.
Yeah. You're both role models.
I love it. That's so cool, man. So I will say this, CJ, and anything by Colin. Would love to know, like, one of the questions Taj and I always ask our guests is, what's next? You are 15 years old. I mean, that's not normally a question you ask a 15-year-old, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What is next? What do you see? What do you want to do in 5-10 years? Where's CJ going to be at in his eyes? And let me say this to you too, before you even answer that. At your age, when I was asked that question, I said one thing and it ended up being quite different. So I don't want you to think before you even say anything, if you could change and you could turn and you could do your thing. But I have a bad memory, CJ, so I want to make sure I got that out. But where does CJ today see himself in 5-10 years?
Well, first of all, I want to graduate high school. But I want to go to college to play football, first of all. Also, I want to have a major in sports medicine, become a doctor or occupational therapist. My alternative plan for sports is I want to go to the Army or Navy to become a doctor there, and come out to retire early.
Wow.
Oh,
you got it all mapped out. I like that.
You know what I feel like? I feel like you have a great respect for family, and for those who are watching or listening. I think it goes to show you what you can accomplish and be when you have a strong family around you and you respect that family. Because oftentimes, especially it seems like young people today, they don't appreciate and respect their elders and their older family members at the level I feel we can. And I don't see that with you, CJ, and I feel that's a big reason why you are this incredible force that you are. So always remember that, and I say this because I see sometimes kids go the wrong way when they don't listen or don't respect their family, and I have all the faith in the world that ain't happening to you. But I want to just make that point. You're very blessed to have the family that you have, man. You really are.
Yeah, I want to say something too, just in general, just advice in general as someone that's a lot older. But in general, like I so appreciate that you're trying to help the world, and even the things that you're choosing to do later on in life is all about helping others in that way, whether it's in the sports arena or the army or navy, as you said, you want to help people in that way. So just, I would just say, as a word of advice, I think it's so commendable for you to do that. Just always, I don't want to say guard yourself, but there's so, it's it's such a good thing to be that person in that in this world, and it's such a rarity because most people are selfish. Most people care about them. It's all about them. And so when you're a rarity like that, you can be a target, an easy target for people to pick on, tease, and all that stuff. So stay strong, and you have a strong foundation with your family. Obviously, I see it in that way. Always know you are right in that way of helping others in that way, because it might just be friends teasing you about your project because it's helping somebody, and they secretly probably just want to be you because they wish they would have done it, but it might come in a way of teasing you in that way, and you just have to be strong sometimes in that way. And I'm just preparing you for that, because the greater things you do, that there's always going to be someone trying to diminish that in that way. And so stay on your course. You're doing amazing.
Very, very important, Taj. Very important. So, CJ, Caitlin has a question. She wants to know Taj mentioned friends, but what do your friends think about what you're doing?
Well, honestly, I don't. I've told some friends, like my closest ones, but honestly, I don't like really tell anyone about my project at school. A couple people have more people are starting to find out now, and they're like, "Oh, you do this? Oh, that's cool."
Yeah,
but I've never really opened up to anyone that I don't talk to on a daily basis at school. It's just something like, "Oh, I found this. You do this? Oh yeah, cool. Surprise, you figured it out." It's like that. It's not something I just go around. Hey, I do this. I do this. I do that. It's not something like that.
Nice.
Jennifer adds, CJ was raised well. What a village he has behind him and protecting him from above. Love it. Carla says, CJ, you make us proud. Jack Love says, CJ has a great mindset at such a young age.
Yep.
And Carrie says that she loves the detailed goal setting. It's incredible.
Yeah.
So CJ, it's about that time where now I prepared you. I told you that what Taj and I like to do at the end of our shows is give our guests a minute or so, whatever time you need, to share anything you want. It doesn't have to be on topic. It doesn't have to be on loss, on grief, on it doesn't have to be that. But we want to make sure you have a minute to share with our community, with the world, anything that is on CJ's mind. It could be your favorite basketball team, your favorite football team, I should have said, your favorite Netflix show, your favorite book to read, your favorite song, anything you want to share with the world, CJ. I want to make sure you get an opportunity to do so. So, what is on CJ's mind? What does he want to share?
I don't know. You guys think he's winning the Super Bowl?
Okay, we can talk about Super Bowl. It's going to be a good game, I think. I'm excited for both teams, both quarterbacks. But I don't know. I don't know that one. What about you?
I think Philly's going to win.
You think Philly's going to get it?
Yeah, that's only if they stop Patrick Mahomes early.
They got to not just stop him. They got to stop him early.
If they don't stop Patrick Mahomes, they're not winning.
Is he? I know he was a bit injured in the AFC game, in the championship game. Is he going to be 100% healthy?
That's something for the Kansas City Chiefs coach.
That's something for the doctors to know, right?
No idea.
He's like, I'm only 15, man. I don't know that answer. No, it's going to be a good game, though, CJ. And as someone who wants to play football, as you get a bit older, I think this is going to be a good game to watch. I think it's going to be one of those that kind of go back and forth. I think it's really anyone's game. I think Philadelphia, did they have the best record I think they had the best record all season. So, but at the same time, there's something that goes for having the experience. And I know Kansas City's been to this point several times. So it's gonna be a heck of a game.
Right.
Georgina has a question. Are you looking forward to Rihanna's performance?
Rihanna's performance?
Did you even know she's performing at the halftime show?
No, I didn't.
Okay, yes, Rihanna's the halftime performer for the Super Bowl.
Well, I guess. I mean, I've never really listened to Rihanna's music, so
who do you listen to, CJ?
Yeah, who do you listen to?
I just like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't have like a favorite artist or anything. I just like listen to like whatever my head likes. Like,
okay.
If you like show me a song, I was like, oh, I like that. What's that song? And I'll just go listen to it for like an hour and then on loop. And then I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just something like, if I like it, I like it. It's nothing like I'm like studying it on.
Got it.
Love it. Well, Georgina also says, CJ, ever received greetings from Germany? Well, here I am sending you love. Keep on doing what you are doing. Keep on doing what you do. You are amazing. So,
Germany.
all the way from Germany. And then Balmy, My Life, My Hurdles, and My Survival, who's in England, says, can we get the book in England?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it was like
you think so? Okay. So again, for Balmy and anyone who wants to know, make sure to go to goodgriefbooks.net. And then also you can check Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon. And let me highlight the book one more again. It's called And Then There Was One by CJ Matthews and Christian Wright Matthews. Wait. Okay, CJ's holding it up. So there we go. And CJ had shown a bit more. I'm so proud of you, man. Yeah. I'm so proud of you, man. It's really incredible. Okay, so let's do this, CJ. Let's tell one more time the world on the best way for people to learn more about you and all the things you're up to. What's the best way for someone to start on their CJ journey?
What do you want me to give? Like
your website maybe, or your Instagram?
You guys can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all Blankies4MyBuddies. Also, you could follow me up on my website at Blankies4MyBuddies@gmail.com. I mean, not .com, sorry, .org. The book, goodgriefbooks.net. Also, you can purchase the book on Amazon.
Perfect. Well, before we let you go, I do want to say this too. I love this. Lana says hugs from Barbados. Just saying. And Jennifer adds there's a Kindle version, but I'm getting a physical book from his website. Love it. I will want to say this, and again, we've said it many times, CJ, you're a very commendable young man. As Rachel says, CJ has handled his grief with such poise, very commendable. Georgina adds, oh, CJ, I wish my son had a big brother like you. And then I also want to give some love to your papa, Ronald Wright. As your mom, Kristen, says, Papa was so proud of you. And I completely see and understand why. It's clear as day. Taj sees it. We see how brilliant you are inside, and just want to let you know that we are here with you. We're supporting you. We are proud of you. And however we can help you, we want to be that for you. Yeah. Okay? Taj, was there anything else I missed or need to talk about before we end today's show?
No, not at all.
Okay. Yeah. CJ, any final words? Are you good?
I would like to leave off with a quote.
Yeah.
Hold on. I had this ready.
You take your time, man. Take your time.
Don't let what you do best define who you are, because who are you if you can't do what you do best?
Okay, wait.
Hey, hold on, rewind.
Yeah, hold on. I love me some quotes. Say it one more time for me.
Yeah.
Don't let what you do best define you, because who are you if you can't do what you do? Who are you if you can't do what you do best?
Okay, very cool, man. Who said that quote? Do you know?
No, I don't.
It's okay. That's cool. CJ, you're a special young man. As Dee's Tiny Kitchen says, amazing. Really enjoyed the show. Carrie says, CJ. Where'd it go? There you are. CJ, you are one amazing young man. Thank you for being here again. I want to also just say you are a special young man, and keep doing your thing. And like I said, in a world filled with distractions and people lost, you are light, and you are something everyone, not just Colin and your family, can look up to, but all of us can look up to. So
Yeah.
I thank you for doing what you're doing, and I thank you for being you. All right. Cool. Taj Jackson, and I apologize, but Taj, anything else you want to say? I have a tendency to say I when it's really us. But
Oh, thank
Taj,
you.
anything you want to say to our young stud?
No, just in general, like, I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep making everyone around you proud in that way. You are a role model, even just because you're inspiring people, and keep doing that in that way.
Cool. All right, you guys, we are going to sign off, everyone. Shout out to all of you who are watching. Remember, this is also going to be a podcast. So if you want to listen to not only this show, but any future shows, make sure you subscribe to the D.D. Jackson Foundation podcast.
Hey.
Yes.
One more thing. I just want to thank my parents for it. I want to thank my parents and everyone else in my family for, pushing me to keep doing what I was doing. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Takes
That's
a
it.
village, right? Yeah.
That's it. And CJ, I appreciate you saying that, man.
Yeah.
That's the right thing to say. And that's your parents love you, and they put a lot of love into you and a lot of time. And as you get old, you don't realize it, but you're 15. But as you get older, time becomes our best asset and our greatest important thing, So for your parents giving them time to you and putting that energy into you is incredible, and I'm happy you acknowledge that and see that.
Yeah.
All right. That is it, though, you guys. We want to wish everyone all the best. CJ, keep doing your thing, man. And you are no stranger to our show. Whenever you have something coming up, you let us know. And it'll be wonderful to see you continue to grow and blossom.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. That is it, you guys. We will be back next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please be safe. Enjoy your family. And God bless everyone. Adios, everyone. On behalf of Taj Jackson, my brother, on behalf of CJ, on behalf of our foundation and all of our family, both of our families, take care, everyone, and love always. Adios, everyone.